Hello, Scorpios. Thank you for your patience. I've been sick for just over 4 weeks with COVID, the acute illness, and then long COVID. So I apologize for the delay on your readings. Let's see, what do we have for Scorpio, please, Spirit? What have you got for Scorpio? Dearest you, we have a secret for you. The more you think you know, the less you actually do. So if you're willing to keep an open mind, you will avoid the narrow confines of the know-it-all and open up to the unlimited potential that can be discovered only by the curious optimist. Curiosity allows you to discover new things, see the world from a different perspective, and find answers to questions you might not even know that you have. Right now, whatever is going on, it's important to know that you are not aware of all of the aspects of it that you need to see to make an informed choice. You might be projecting a story that isn't totally true. So moving forward, your mantra could be, I don't know, or that's interesting, as you keep your mind and heart open to new experiences and a richer existence overall. All of us over here want you to be all you can be. We are cheering for you. Can you hear us? Interesting. So there's something you might not be seeing. Let's see what that could pertain to. Tell us more, please. What's at the heart of the situation for Scorpios, please, Spirit? 8 of Cups. Perhaps you think that there's something better waiting for you. Perhaps there's something that you need to do that is right for you, but maybe you're not looking at it. Maybe you're afraid to turn your back because you're afraid to leave something or to change something that you already have. You could be in a comfort zone, but in the same respect, you're on a spiritual quest of some sort, which is triggering this change. And why? Because what's crossing you is the 4 of Raphael, which is akin to the 4 of Cups. So there's something here about apathy, not being happy with where you're at. And it speaks of seeking out other possibilities, right? And looking for the magic in life, but also being aware of your own emotions. So we have 2 water cards here, which means there's some complete influence of, I shouldn't say some complete, there's a heavy influence of your emotions at this point in time. And it's asking that you look at other possibilities, because maybe you've been in a little bit of a downward spiral or feeling negative. It could have been hard at this point in time to find the happiness in life. And the foundation of this is something about a dream coming true. Now, it's a material aspect of some sort, something in the physical world that you're wanting, because it speaks of you're wanting dreams to be fulfilled and hard work leading to great success. Perhaps you have a love for the beautiful things in life, and there's something that you're trying to work towards. However, perhaps it wasn't manifesting for you. Or you could be at a point where you have manifested what it is that you want, but then you realize this isn't making me completely happy. And so because you've had this experience, you might be feeling a sort of bored energy, or you might be feeling a little uninspired at this point in time. Now it's like, okay, I've been there, done it, got the t-shirt, but now what? So maybe it just didn't bring you everything that you thought it would. Okay, so in the recent past, you have the Knight of Ariel, which is the Knight of Pentacles. Maybe things just got very stagnant. Maybe things just weren't moving along. Maybe things just weren't going in the direction anymore that you wanted it to. Perhaps you reached all of the success that you were going to reach in whatever this endeavor was for you. And now you're at this point where it's just like, okay, honestly, like I've done it all, but now what? You know? It's kind of like you had high hopes for something in the 7 of Cups, which came just before the 8, and now all of a sudden maybe you realized it was a bit of wishful thinking. So that could be very well why this card is the main piece, is that maybe you thought you knew everything about what it was that you were getting into or how it would all play out, and then it didn't do so. And now maybe you're not exactly happy. Maybe you projected a story that if you worked super hard in, say, creating a web design company, maybe now that you're doing it, you're finding that it's more problem than it's worth because you could be dealing with shady buyers, right? There's many situations here. Perhaps you got into a relationship that seemed incredibly amazing at the beginning, and then it's very quickly fizzling out, and now maybe you're seeing another side of the person that you didn't see before, and you're just not happy with it. Now, if you're not feeling like this could be the person that you're dealing with, because this is somebody who wants it all. So let's see what might be coming in the near future for you. Something about putting some hard work in and taking great pride in your excellent work, right? It also speaks of practice, making something perfect, or getting additional education or training. Even if this isn't to do with work, maybe perhaps this is something to do with a relationship. Maybe it's time to learn more about the functionality of relationships or more about yourself, because there's something here about either self-work or working on something different, but feeling good about it. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe you have something at this point in time that is really good. However, I get the sense like you're just stuck in a rut. So maybe you thought you knew all of the answers, or you've been running things the way that you're used to doing, but Spirit is telling you, keep yourself open to new experiences and a richer existence, meaning that if you build upon what you've got, or maybe open yourself to something new about it, it could be so much more amazing, instead of just painting it with a brush that, oh yeah, okay, this is how it's going to be, that's it, forever, right? It's like you've there's a piece here saying that you may have lost the magic in life, like you don't see the magic in life. And maybe you've just felt as though you continue to work on things, but you're not getting the reward that you need. So perhaps this is a matter of working on self and what is important to you and what are your values. But there's something here about opening up. It's very important that you open up in the next little while so that you can allow yourself to discover new things and see the world, right? It's from that different perspective. Because sometimes that's all we need. I very much speak with friends who give me different insight, or I look on social media, right, sometimes to get their input on a certain situation, because it was like, oh, I never thought about it that way. And then when I adopt that perspective, all of a sudden I come to life again and I get reignited and more excited about what it is that I'm doing. So let's get a little bit further into this Eight of Raphael. Tell me about this Eight of Raphael for Scorpios, please, Spirit. There's something like it's about opening up, and okay, you could be dealing with a Cancerian, but you're using your willpower, and maybe that's exactly what I was talking about. Is there you are, you're driving forward, but one of your horses could represent, say, your heart space, and this one, your mind. And your mind is saying, okay, we are going to do this no matter what. But this horse is looking the other way because it's saying, there's other things out there that could help in this, right? So if you're continuously focused on just one way of doing things and one way of being, you might be missing something else, right? Hence all the clouds here. You can't see clearly. Can't see clearly at everything that's possible because you're so driven and so set in your own ways. Okay? Let's see what this Four of Raphael has to do with. So yeah, there's something that you're using your willpower for. Perhaps you're just forcing yourself to go through the motions and you're hoping that things are going to just turn into something amazing, but it's just not, right? At this point in time, where you're feeling a little deflated. And here we go, Queen of Wands. So this is about confidence. This is about taking action. This is about, you know, feeling really good about everything that's going on. And maybe that's exactly it. Maybe you don't feel as successful as you want to be at this point in time. And maybe, like I said, you're just at a point where you feel stagnant and you're just pushing yourself through the motions as opposed to truly living in it and shining and being happy with what it is that you've got. So there's something you got to look at here. What is this Nine of Ariel about, please? Exactly. Six of Swords. This speaks to travel or moving on, moving into a better place. Okay, so this would have come from the Five of Swords. Now the Five of Swords, again, is about thoughts. So maybe you were so dead set in your way that, you know, and so focused on what you wanted that once you got it, it just wasn't exactly it. And now you're striving for more. So whatever it was, whatever conflict in your mind that you were dealing with, or that somebody brought upon you, or vice versa, you brought upon them, someone's moving forward now. And I'm looking at the way that, you know, this individual is kind of curled up, almost like in a protection state. It's like defeated. Again, I feel you feel a bit deflated. But that's okay, because that's going to change. What is this Knight of Ariel, please? Knight of Ariel in the recent past for Scorpio, please. Here you go. It's about values. Exactly. Exactly. So this could be very well one of those situations where, you know, maybe you grew up in your family and they wanted you to take on the family business. Maybe you fell in love with somebody who has a different religion than you, and their beliefs are so incredibly strong that it's posing issues in the connection and you can't move forward. It's like you're stuck. And maybe you didn't think about this prior, or the person you're dealing with didn't think about this prior. They didn't think about, you know, what it is that you value so much. You could be dealing with a Taurus, but something has come to a halt here, and it's because I feel that it's back to this Six of Swords and the Chariot. So something's out of balance here in terms of how it needs to be, or how someone thinks it should be, or how someone says it should be, versus what it really is. So there's something here about the curiosity. Now again, if this is not you, this could be the person that you're dealing with. And that's why I think that the focus here, which Spirit is giving as advice, is, you know, get into that curiosity. You know, we like to think that we know everything, but then it's amazing with the open mind what we find and the unlimited potential, because sometimes, well, not sometimes, actually very often, we're the ones that self-impose limits and we don't even realize we're doing it. It's unconscious, right? So again, this is very much about values, very much about what you've learned, very much about indoctrination. I can't even say it, I'm sorry. But being indoctrinated. It's about everything that you've been taught growing up, everything that you've learned, and sitting on a pedestal. But it's like the mainstream media, right? We see it every day, but it's not true, is it? And you can see that through all of the manipulation that's gone on, especially as of late. You'll see people on the ground doing live videos of scenarios, say of the truckers convoy. And then you look at mainstream media who paints a total different picture and lies about it. There was one that just shocked me recently, which was the police stomping in... It was a horse trampling in Ottawa, and the police were on the horse, and this woman was asking for peace and whatnot else. She was a protester, and they literally ran her over with the horse. And then they lied on their website and said, oh yeah, she got up, walked away, she's fine. You know, they were lying about it only for a few days after, and the truth of the situation being the video of somebody there showing oh, look at this. Actually, she was trampled. She did nothing wrong, and now she's in the hospital because the pictures started emerging, and then there was an interview done, not by mainstream media, because mainstream media has a narrative to protect the goals and ambitions of what, you know, whoever's paying them out, in this case could be government, to show. So I'm getting this feeling like, be careful in this aspect, because you're at a spiritual point now. You're at this point where things aren't gonna look the same as they used to. It's not gonna feel good, because there's something here that you are set in, that you have learned all your life, or has been said to you all your life, and you're going to find out that it may have worked for a number of other situations, but it doesn't work for everything. And that's very uncomfortable. It makes us uncomfortable, but it forces us into spiritual growth. It forces us into growing as well mentally, by saying, oh, maybe I don't know exactly everything, or maybe what I was taught doesn't work in every situation. So there is definitely something here that needs to be looked at. And again, you could be dealing with a Taurus. Now, again, if this is not you, we have heavy earth here too. You got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Knight of Ariel actually represents Capricorn. So this person you could be dealing with is very stubborn, and perhaps it's them who are very much in their confined, know-it-all attitudes. And trust me, I have many earth signs, but that is one of their shadow aspects, is that they get so fixed on something that it's just nope, 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 and it's their way or no way. And that could be what you're dealing with. That could be very frustrating at this point in time. So there needs to be a reworking, either for the person that you're dealing with, or for you, so that, or maybe both, so that action can be taken to move forward, so that things start moving forward again. And I think that that's what this beautiful card is about in the near future. I think with this insight here, it's going to help a lot in terms of, you know, taking great pride, and practice makes perfect. So allowing yourselves to, if it's a relationship, for example, you know, allowing yourselves to fall and get back up, or, you know, embracing those opportunities that come from conflict, because conflict is actually a necessity. So it could very much be, look, you know, you needed to butt heads, and the reason why is because that got you to see how important either this job or this family member or this love in your life is. And once that conflict made it apparent, like, actually, you know what, let's look at the big picture, and the big picture is I love my job and I want to work this out with my boss, or I love my person and I want to work back. It's like, then we grow, and then we get to a point where we compromise. And I say that because you can see this person pointing at something here, like this angel is pointing at something, and this individual is like learning here, right? And it's like, oh, practice makes perfect. So there is another way. There is another way, and it's going to get better. And I see cooperation in the future, and it comes from just being able to say, hey, you know, it's not about being right, it's about the experience and what can be created, reframing what it is that we've learned all along. So let's see, what do we got? Exactly, because once you start working together and opening up to other possibilities, it's like, what did I hear the other day? 6 plus 4 is 10, and 8 plus 2 is 10. You can get to a whole 10 in different approaches, in different ways, with different mixtures, right? 5 and 5 is 10, right? 7 plus 3 is 10. So it's a matter of just finding those ingredients, as opposed to sticking to it has to be 8 plus 2 is 10 always. No. Try it with the 5 plus 5. See what happens. Try it and mix the ingredients. Practice makes perfect. All right? So I don't know if this resonates. Oh, I just got goosebumps. I don't know if that resonates for anybody, but I hope that it helped. And I'm sending you so much love. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye, guys.